What's up, guys, and welcome back to episode 3 of Journey to the Boston Marathon. Today we're going to review week 3 of training and go over one of my favorite topics, shoes, and specifically shoe rotation and how it applies to running. So I had 33 total miles last week. That's up from 32 the week before. I would have liked to do a few more, but it just didn't work out that way. So Monday, the long run, I ran a straight up half marathon, 13.1 miles. Then on Wednesday, we had what I would say was definitely the run of the week. Zach, Hanna, and I went to the track to do this, and we were joined by our friend Brody. Mile repeats is one of my favorite runs when training for a marathon. I really like the long run to build up that engine, build up the endurance, build up the cardio, and then do the mile repeats to get that speed in there, but still long enough of a repeat that it's difficult and appropriate for a marathon. And then hopefully on race day, you combine those two types of training, the speed and the long run cardio. And I got some pretty good footage of us at the track, so we'll just roll the tape. Let's go, Brody. All right, Hanna and I are through 2 mile repeats. She did 7:09, 6:50, which is wild. I did 6:50, 6:54. Let's go, Zach. Hanna and I are gonna do one more. And remember when I said we had no idea what Hanna's cap is? And in every run, she just keeps getting faster and faster. Well, she was supposed to hit 8s, and she did 7:09, 6:50. So, how do you feel, Hanna?
Good.
All right, we'll see you after this mile repeat. All right, so this wraps up our first track workout of this training block in the middle of week 2. I did my miles in 6:49, 6:54, and 6:48. Brody and Zach, woo! They were doing 6s and they finished in 5:24 and 5:48. So they fucking hustled in the last one. But I think the star of the day is Hanna, who was supposed to hit 8s because she's never really run before, so we have no clue how fast she is. So we thought, okay, first track workout ever, she'll do 8s. So she drops a 7:09 on the first one, basically right on my heels. Second one, I'm like, okay, assuming she went all out, I was like, slow it down to 7:30. So then she goes 6:50. And then I'm like, holy shit, okay, just run the last one with me. And we did 6:48. So we've learned that Hanna is fast AF. Here's out, Hanna.
Thank you.
The rest of the week for me was yoga and easy runs. On Saturday, Zach and Hanna did a tempo run. I was pretty banged up by Saturday. I just did 6 miles easy. Hanna and Zach upped the ante on last week's tempo run. They both did a really good job. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about shoe rotation when it comes to running. And this is something that not everyone really thinks about or may think it's unnecessary. But for me, it's as a flat-footed and extremely heavy runner, it's something that I have to keep tabs on and really be aware of. So shoe rotation, what is it? Basically, shoe rotation is not running in the same pair of shoes every day. Having a 2 to 4, ideally 4 shoe rotation that you have a pair of shoes to do tempo runs in, a pair of shoes for long runs, a pair of shoes for your easy runs, and then ideally a super fast pair of racing flats for obviously race day. Running is a extremely repetitive sport. Every step you're using the same muscles in your foot, the same muscles in your calves, knees, and so forth. And no shoe is ideal for anyone. No shoe is made specifically for any one person's foot. And Sakani actually did a study on this a few years back, and they found that 2 to 4 shoe rotation can actually reduce the rate of injury in runners by up to 39%. And honestly, I just find that psychologically it's helpful. I know on speed days when I break out the 4%, I know that's time to fly. So what I do and what I suggest for most people that are going to be logging 30, 40, 50, 60 up miles per week is to have a rotation. My rotation looks something like this. For my longest runs, I'm usually going to be in something like the Hokas. The Hoka Rawhides are specifically really good for me because they have, in addition to the huge cushion and padding that all Hokas are known for, they have a lot of stability and an extra big arch. These shoes are a little bit on the heavier side. They're like 10.5 ounces, but I don't mind that in long runs because it only makes your faster shoes feel that much faster come race day. So I love these to help keep me injury free. And then for my tempo runs and my medium distance runs, basically any run that's not super long and any run that's not super fast, I go with the Nike Pegasus Turbos. I've got the whites for indoor treadmill running, and then I have the Nike Gore-Tex Collab for outdoor running for this winter. It's been wet outside, so I've got 2 pairs of those. Then when it comes to the extremely fast mile repeats and so forth, I go ahead and use the 4%. These shoes obviously have the carbon plate in them, are extremely fast, but also very cushy. And these shoes are really groundbreaking for as fast as they are to be as padded as they are, which makes them great for training. The only downside about them is that they're really only good for 100 miles. But I've already raced these a couple times, trained in them a bunch of times, and hit 100 miles in them. But I'm not going to throw out a $250 pair of shoes. So now I just use them for speed workouts. And I have another pair on deck for race day that I'm keeping fresh. A chef doesn't have one knife, a mechanic doesn't have one tool, and a runner shouldn't have one shoe. And it's an awesome excuse to buy a bunch of shoes. So what do you guys think? Is shoe rotation a noble cause or just a waste of money? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next week.